Between Two Nerds with Miguel Figueroa. Miguel Figueroa.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Can you see me?
I can see you. I can see you
Am I
and I can
going
hear you. We have the whole thing going.
am I going
It looks
crazy or
like you're
no?
waving hands and can you see me?
Yeah, but it looks very like like buffing.
It looks like it's buffering for you. My face is buffering,
Ye-
but you can hear me fine.
Yeah, I can hear you. It might be my computer, bro, because my computer's like really bad.
Oh boy. Well, this ought to be fun then. I guess I'll have more time editing, than doing playing with it. Yo, I want to tour around your room. I've been every time I watch one of your videos, I get like stupid jealous behind seeing all the stuff behind you. Yeah, you got a little bit of a buffer thing happening. Uh-oh. Did we lose you? Oh, look at that. That Joker back there, that Killing Joke Joker is dope. You got a full size Spider Man in the background. How jealous am I? The Batman is fire. I love how the Joker is popping out of the wall. I want to be in there. I want to be touching his stuff. I want to play with the toys. I want to look at them in greater detail. Hold on, let me take a sip of my drink.
Yo, stop it.
Ah,
That's funny.
it's
I
an
should have
actual
wore one of
empty
your
cup right
shirts.
now. I brought the empty cup in here so I can fake drinking so you can see the cup.
I like it. I like it.
Oye, Figueroa, ¿de dónde tú eres?
Yes. Puerto Rico.
That means there's two of us. There's two of us on the call right now. Look at that, man. De Puerto Rico. ¿Tú hablas español?
Sí.
Look at that. This guy. We're not gonna do it in Spanish. We're gonna mess everybody else up. But I figured I would ask anyway, bro. Listen, I know you are stupid busy, so no one is gonna appreciate this time you take in more than me. And I really just want to data mine you. I've seen you do a lot of these things. I need to find out how to do my stuff better. So that's one thing to get into it. And then
Hmm.
I've talked to a lot of people who are interested in doing these kinds of things we do, and they have absolutely no idea how to get into it, and then they have no idea how to get to like 200,000. I happen to be one of those people, so you know, I'm just gonna ask random questions. You answer them however you want, and then we'll
Yeah,
just go
yeah.
from there. All right.
Let's do it, bro.
You jumped into you have a comic book universe behind you that I'm like more jealous of than you. I'm just jealous. Period. There it is. All right.
Appreciate it.
So what was the first comic book you ever picked up? Like what was the one that started the catalyst here for you to jump into the universe of comics and superheroes?
Man, I really can't remember what the first comic book was, but I could tell you that the biggest impact for me as far as the comic book universe was X-Men.
X.
The cartoon, the animated series, it was really big for me. I mean, I had comic books before that, and I was living in Puerto Rico, so like the X-Men were in Spanish. They were dubbed in Spanish, but the X-Men were really big for me as far as me growing up. And then I got more selective of what type of comic books I was getting, because when I was young, I was just grabbing comic books. You go to like the grocery store, they had these little packs there, comic books. I didn't know who nobody was. I was just grabbing whatever looked the coolest, right? I can't really tell you what my first comic book was, but I know the biggest impact for me was definitely X-Men. I know my most prized comic book that I have right now is I have the Hulk 181, which is the first appearance of Wolverine.
Mm.
And a lot of them, guys passed away, like Herb Trimpe, Stan Lee, and they all autographed it for me. I love it. One of
Stan
my
Lee
favorite.
autographed it for you too?
Yeah, Stan Lee autographed it, CGC. It's my baby. But yeah, that's my prize. But yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot different now because comics has changed as far as storylines from then and now. And now with all these shows now like X-Men 97 and stuff, man. I mean, they're bringing out some really cool stuff.
Say nothing.
And
Do
a lot of
nothing
it's
to spoil it. I have seen nothing.
oh no.
Not one drop have I seen yet. I need
You
to watch
better
it all
start.
together. You haven't seen it?
You better start. You gotta start,
I
bro. You
need to
gotta
watch them
start.
together, bro. I'm gonna binge for a day, like sit there for the entire day. I'm gonna sit there and watch the whole thing. It's like
You
people
gotta
try to
start, bro.
tell me about shit, and I'm like, no, say nothing. You're gonna ruin it for me. Nothing. But
That's funny,
everybody
man.
and their mother is talking about it, so I'm like, bro, I'm a little older. How old are you?
I'm 37.
You're 37, so I got like 11 years on you. So
Do I really? Do you really? I didn't know that.
yeah, bro, I'm 48 this year. I'm 48. Don't tell
Oh
nobody
man.
else. Yeah, yeah, 48 this year, and I started in this what we're doing here in this game way late because I was too busy having kids and trying to do a career thing. But when I started comic books, it was like you go to the bodega in New York and they had the big racks full of paper. Back then, they didn't care if you opened them up and you were flipping through it. Yeah, I would read
Yeah.
half the comic inside the store. I would read half the
Hmm.
comic in the store. And you take one, you roll it up, you put it in your back pocket. That was the one you stole.
Walk out.
Yeah, and then you bought one for later. No, I'm just kidding. Not kidding. These are bad things you did as a child, but that's just how you had to get down when you had no dough. But that, I mean, for me, it was always Spider-Man, so I was really interested to see which one was driving you. And in the X-Men, was there a particular character for you that was just like, this is the one I resonate? You said Wolverine. Is that your dude?
Wolverine's my favorite. I don't really want to say I resonated with him as much. I mean, I kind of did because like Wolverine always had like this little attitude to him.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
in school, I always had a little attitude. I always got into fights. I mean, I still do mixed martial arts now, but I was never a bully. I used to beat up the bully. So for me, like Wolverine, as far as the character was portrayed, he was a lot like me because he has this protective side to him. So I always like felt like I had to protect people who couldn't protect themselves. He was just an angry little man, and everybody used to say I used to be angry or have an angry face, and I'm really the nicest person in the world.
I heard that. I
But
keep
yeah,
hearing that
I
about
like
you.
the
Nicest guy in the world he is. Mira, you want to see angry? I have to lift up my do-rag, but we call them 11s. Como eso, mira. It's this thing right here.
oh, the wrinkles.
It's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
We
yeah.
call them 11s. Okay, that's it. I'm closing. That's why you gotta wear the do-rag. You gotta cover up the angry spots in your forehead so no one can see them from you, bro. So we have some similar backgrounds. You Puerto Rican, a mixed martial art background. I've watched you do a couple of your. Are you refereeing? I'm assuming. Um, I actually watched one that you
Yeah.
posted not too long ago, where one of these kids jumped up and threw his legs around someone's neck and then dropped them on the ground, and your eyes went like this. So that was one of the questions I was going to ask you. Like, what's the coolest thing that you've seen in refereeing mixed martial arts? Like,
Yeah, for me, so I'm one of the head referees for ADCC, which is like one of the biggest grappling organizations in the world. You got a lot of wrestlers there, a lot of jiu-jitsu guys and stuff. And for me, man, it's just seeing how talented the young people are in the sport. I mean, now, you got a lot of goats in the sport, but they started at a late age. So now seeing like the kids or like even the teens be so good and make it to like these high caliber matches. And the thing with me is I get to every time I see them in every tournament, like I'm watching them grow,
yeah,
not only as like a person, but in the sport. So, for me to do like a full circle thing where I've seen guys that I know could win loss and then come back and win and in another tournament, that's the biggest thing for me. So like I just like seeing those guys. And that video you're talking about, those were 16, 17-year-old kids, man.
yeah,
They
yeah.
they look grown.
They look grown as
And
hell. I
yeah,
was
yeah,
about
yeah.
to wrap you up quick. Have you
Yeah,
seen
but it's fun,
anybody?
man. It's fun to see these guys go at it.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is. You don't get wrapped up in any one particular like you like one guy over another. You gotta play it cool with the ref. But I would imagine having seen them grow. Have you met or know of people right now who are trying to make it further into an MMA circle, UFC or something that
Oh
automatically?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been doing this for like 14 years. So like I have teammates that are in the UFC, I have friends, people there that compete, they're in an MMA gym. So I get to see a lot of UFC fighters as the coach or like, maybe the wrestling coach and things like that. So I mean, the sport is kind of all mixed in now. That's why they call it mixed martial arts. But I
Mm.
get to see a lot of those guys, and either get a car or be on the big screen, and it's just fun for me to be a small part of their big journey. You know what I mean? So, and I got the best seat in the house.
Yeah, and so this is your primary gig, right? That's what you do. Bing.
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
it. Wow, man. You're the one dude that's just kind of living the life right now. Like when I'm not gonna go watch some fights or whatever, I'm gonna open up some toys. You know what? Maybe they'll fly me to Brazil next week and I'll go hang out with them. This guy. I'm like, yo, this is the life. This is the life I was supposed to be leading, what, 15 years ago. So honestly, you promote that rush in me because I'm old. I mentioned that, but you're helping to promote that rush in me to try and seek out something more, do something more better stuff. I didn't have like a general emphasis for me to start doing this thing except for my pure nerddom, but I know you did. And so I want to bridge this conversation by asking that question, like what was the genesis of you jumping into doing toy reviews? So
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked that. So it's Autism Awareness month of April. So it's perfect that we kind of talk about that. So the reason why this show started was because of my daughter. My daughter at the time was around 9 or 10 years old, and she has autism. And I used to collect stuff. I had toys, I had figures, I had some statues trickling in, nothing like I have now. And we used to watch like Sideshow, do their things online on YouTube and stuff. And one day she was laying down with me, and we were on the iPad watching Sideshow, and they're releasing these new statues that we all wish we wanted. And I told her, kind of joking around, like, hey, you should start your own YouTube show one day. We watch other reviewers too. And she got real sad and she shut off the tablet, and I didn't know why. And when I asked her why, she said she couldn't do it because she had autism. So that was the last thing I thought she would even say, right? I thought maybe somebody told her she couldn't or anything like that. But the simple fact that she narrowed it down to that really broke my heart as a father, right? And like I didn't know what to do. Like that was real, came on super strong. And during that time, I was redoing, like I was doing the basement, like putting the sheetrock up, and it was gonna be my man cave. And I said, you know what, man? And it kept bothering me. I got a table, I got a bunch of little blind bags that I still have a bunch lying around. And we went downstairs and I put a camera up and we did our first show. There's no editing, no nothing. We just kind of did it on an iPhone, and we did it. And it was crazy because growing up with autism is tough, right? She had like, she couldn't really pronounce her words. She was shy. She had problems, putting sentences together. So we did our first show. It's like it almost like she was trying so hard and she did so good and pronouncing her words and making sense of what we were talking about. And like it really like brought this like fire out of her because she was having so much fun. So when we got done that first show, we turned off the camera and me and her mom kind of looked at each other like, what was that? We were so happy. It was such a like moment that I'll never forget. And then after that, I said, you know what, let's just keep going, and it was more not only for her, right, but for people out there that might run into the same problem or might think that their special need or disability might be a roadblock to accomplishing some sort of dream, like even if it's as dumb as just being on YouTube, right? And man, fast forward to today, we have 170 something thousand subscribers. We got the YouTube plaque, we got sponsors, we got people who send us statues, and it's I've never would have thought that we would get this big. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't something that I was looking to do. It wasn't anything like that. Our intentions were generally just to, have fun, help her grow, and help her learn about things in life. And we always said that on the show, we would try to do good things as far as the community. So we've had celebrity guests on, and we talked about other things like suicide awareness, mental health, things like that. And we've always done things outside of the show, in schools or like, in the community to just do something good with the platform we had. And it just kept growing and growing. It's still growing. I mean, my daughter now is big, and she's in school, she's working, so she stepped out for this year. It's only me doing it. But
what is
it's
that, by
been
the
a
way?
ride. And we have a lot of things going on, and I love it, man.
Yo, is that do you attribute that as the reason for the popularity is because you took a root cause and addressed it as a reviewer, or do you just feel like you just went in like I don't give a fuck and I'm just gonna do this because this is really for us and I whoever's watching watches and it doesn't no importa a mí. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was more the second thing. It was more like the reason why I started it was because she thought she couldn't. So I wanted to prove herself that this is something that she could do as long as she sets her mind to it, right? That's the first thing. And then I said, you know what? Let's just keep doing it. Not only to help her grow, but like, like I said, if there was two people watching, then let them watch and then maybe it'll inspire them. The
Yeah,
whole idea was that we could inspire people through our story and at the same time help her with her development through the power of toys and reviewing and, talking and plus that bond between father and daughter, right?
yeah,
From then it just grew, and the thing that happened with it was that I was getting messages from all over the world, from countries that don't have the support for like we do here in the States about autism, and their parents concerned,
yeah.
inspired through our story. And that's when I really thought, man, this is really like impactful. I still at that time didn't care if we were growing or not, or I didn't care about a YouTube award or monetization. We didn't get I didn't hit the monetize button until 2 years ago. And
Really?
this is a small niche, so we're not making money like that. But
Yeah, no.
like yeah, like it was more for that. And then from there it just started growing. We started, having companies send us stuff to review, like Diamond Select and Gentle Giant, which was literally the first company to ever support us. That's how we started. And I still do their stuff. I don't care how big we are.
Yeah.
And we have other companies that, send us stuff too, like Iron Studios. We just did this. This came out today on our show.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I just,
Fire.
it's just been a real blessing, and none of it was anything that was like I never imagined. There was no plan for this to grow or to be big. It just kind of just happened. There wasn't no like I didn't sit there and say, "Hey, we're gonna do this just so we could grow." That wasn't ever a thing. It's still not a thing. I could walk away from this tomorrow and be okay. But I do love this. I do love the hobby. I do love comic books. I've always have. And I love the networking, the people I've met, the opportunities that we've gotten, and most of all, the most important thing is the people that we've impacted through our story.
Nah, that's the best answer that I think I've gotten in any of my reviews so far. That's just so let me ask you. So I was gonna wait to the end on this for the people who are interested in doing their own thing. Would it be to what would your advice be? Would it be more or less just have fun? Just go
Yeah,
into it with
for
your
me.
own notion, if they want to try and succeed, what's the best success metric you think you could offer for someone who wants to do it?
So the biggest thing, and this is from experience and from watching others that have reached out to me for advice and help. First off, if you want to do this, right, always remember where you came from. That's
Right.
the first thing I'm gonna say, because I didn't come up with anything. I wasn't rich. I wasn't none of that. I couldn't get statues when I really wanted them. I started off with figures. I started off with we as a show started off with blind boxes, which are expensive. They're like $12 each little bag, right? And that's
Mhm.
how we started. And then from there we started moving on to the big things, but because through sponsorships, not because I could afford it. But
Mhm.
the biggest thing is no matter if you want to come on here to have fun, if you want to come on here to try to make money, if you want to come here to try to be big, it doesn't matter the reason why. Just remember where you came from. You wanted to do this because of what you love. And a lot of people's problem, and I don't, it's not necessarily a problem because I don't think it's bad, but they're too worried about the number. Forget about the number.
Yeah.
It's not like I was there every day looking, oh, we just grew 20 subscribers. Oh, we just grew 50 subscribers, right? Because then you're going to drive yourself nuts. Just go. Consistency is key. Keep doing what you're doing. Have your own flair. Do your own style. Be original. Be different, right? And just do it for fun. And you're going to see more and more people are going to start watching your stuff because of who you are, not because who you're trying to be, because
Word.
of who you are. So, for example, you have your own thing, right? The Tony the Toy Rat thing, right? Yeah, I love it. You're very animated, right? Listen, probably one of the reasons why I didn't think you were that old is because how animated you are, right?
Oh
Yeah, I'm
wow.
just saying. I'm just saying. you're very animated and you bring a fun feature to it, which where for me, I think I'm a little bit more like almost commercial, even though that sounds horrible. But for you, it's like you're still having fun, man. And
Yeah.
that's the most important thing is have fun. And it's good to look at your analytics and numbers and stuff. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but don't let it consume you. Just have fun. Do what you do because you're having fun and you love it. And you're gonna see yourself grow and network and have fun with people. You're not the only one who loves collecting. There's so many other people that love collecting. You're going to get to network with them and do partnerships and stuff like that. I mean, everything you're doing with the sculpt is freaking amazing. So things like that, man, you're growing without even knowing that you're growing, and doing things like that for the community is what makes you who you are.
That's dude, you're such a good interview. It's such a good interview. I'm not gonna have to edit shit, just, except for me saying shit, but I think that's such a good answer. And immediately I'm gonna stop looking at my analytics. Okay. Okay. Well, because I have this theory in it's in my other interview, so I'll just say it really quickly, but just to let you know, like the Tony the Toy Rat thing. So I'm from the project, so Hood Rat came naturally. But at the same time, I literally had invested in like 12 of these statues, no more. And then every time Diamond Select sends you the thing, or you buy one, they have one of those little things that you send back, the comment card that you send back. So I'm the one fool. I write everything in there and send back like 12 of them, and I don't get any responses. I'm like, yo, what's happening, right? So I said, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna just jump on. I'm gonna send a message out to whoever, and I don't know how, but I managed to get Zach Oates, and I get an email back like 2 days later, and it was, hey, I'm sorry, no one's contacted you back. I'm like, oh, well, that was nice. In my email to them, I was like, hey, I'm a little unhappy. No one's contacted me. Okay. I sent out like 12 of these things. Feel like that's not great customer service. Also, if you need somebody to review these things, I'm your guy. So pretty brazen shit, right? And I don't expect much out of it. And so he sends back this apology thing. He's like, yeah, sure. Send me a link to your YouTube channel. And that's all I was like, I need to make a YouTube channel. So yeah, I literally ran downstairs, asked the wife if I could make one because I thought it might take a little bit of my time. It's taking a little bit more than that now. And the first one I did was called Tony Reviews a Toy Rat. So Toy Rat was born at that moment. And I didn't know it until like the first or second episode in, which actually is a great segue because I know what 101 is for. This is the basics. But what is the quest? So it's Toy Quest 101. I know the 101. You're gonna get the basics right now, but what is the quest? What is the actual quest now?
So it's funny because the way that came about was because we started with blind bags, right? And we started with like figures and stuff. So we would go on a trip to Walmart or wherever to find these little blind bags, right? And that would be the quest, finding that. And then it turned into finding that figure or finding that statue or finding that chase figure or the rare one inside the bag. So it just made sense. I can't remember. I think it was like a group effort between me and my family how we came out with the name, but the name just stuck and it came out really good. But yeah, Toy Quest 101. And it was just really, it was really it just like I said, it just kind of all happened naturally and got like just melted really good. But yeah, it was just we were on a toy quest to finding those figures for the show and the rare chase ones that came in the blind bags, and now it's you're chasing statues and figures, and it never stops, man.
So now it's the chase. So it's about the chase, and it was about the rarity to begin with, trying to find
Yes.
the segments and the rarity to give you the completion of a set or a build a figure or whatever the case was. So that was the quest, and now the quest is the bigger the better. From what I can see, anyway. From what I can see. So you left Puerto Rico and you came straight to Philly, or have you been here ever since, or no?
No. So for me, I was born in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And then when I was about 4, my mom moved to the States. And then I kept going back and forth. I used to play baseball a lot. So I would go with my grandparents. Like I graduated high school there. I went to like a little bit of middle school there. But I was back and forth all the time.
What was the town? Where were you in Puerto Rico?
Comerío.
Amarillo. See,
It's like right in the middle. Right in the middle.
Shouting them out. I'm shouting them out
Right
right,
in the middle.
right
Yeah,
in the
yeah. But
middle.
it was right in the middle, on a mountain, farm boy. It was just, that's how it was. But yeah, and then I came here and
So
I've been
how
here.
long you been in Philly now? How long you been there?
I mean, I've been in kind of the same spot since we moved from Puerto Rico when I was 4. So like I said, it was just kind of back and forth. As a matter of fact, the house I grew up in is like the street next over to where I bought my house. So
Word.
it's not like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, so here you go. This is gonna be for Philly street cred. Okay.
Well, I'm in Jersey. I'm
But
not in Philly.
you had Philly before though.
Oh no, no. So I'm 30 minutes right from that bridge. I
Okay,
could,
so I mean,
yeah, yeah.
all right, so
I love Philly. Don't get it twisted.
okay, all right. I'm not. I was just gonna say, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Do you remember the
Hmm.
lyrics?
Yeah, I remember the lyrics. He actually sent me. We did an episode. He did his own clothing brand. It's called Bel Air. I forgot what it's called, Bel Air Authentics or something like that. And a long time ago, they sent us a bag of clothes, and me and my daughter went out to do in Philly. We went to the graffiti art district, and we took pictures with the clothes, like with the graffiti in the back. It was pretty cool. I thought I had some back here somewhere, but that was a while ago. Um, but yeah, man, I used to watch Fresh Prince all the time.
All right,
Love it.
so
You want me to sing it?
in West
West
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia, born and
born
raised
and
on the
raised.
playground where I spend most of my days, chilling out, relaxing, acting all cool, suiting up bebop outside of school. When a couple of guys were up to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight, and my mom got scared. She said, "You moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." And yeah, keep it going.
All
But
right, hey! I never thought I would get you to do that. Thought you were gonna tell me go by Fangu. You know,
no, no,
that's not
I
what
just said it super fast. But
all right. All right. So damn, bro. I mean, we kind of whipped through a lot of these questions I had. All right. So what is the most favorite thing that you've had an opportunity to unbox and open so far?
ooh, that's tough, man, because that's super tough.
Yes, it is.
um because like we're constantly partnering up with new companies, and statues and figures are just getting better and better compared to what they were before. So it's super hard because it just they keep topping and topping each one before then. But
To date,
oof,
let's say to date, to date. Probably.
today,
We know there's going to be some more coming, and you're going to love them too. And this is no smack on any of these wonderful manufacturers who you do work with, because I'm sure they all have something that you love. But in terms of character, I knew it was going to be something on the back shelf there.
that guy right there.
The Killing Joke Joker.
Yeah. So let me see if I can get over here real quick so you guys can see this. But so let me see if I get you to look at his face over
So
here real quick.
fire! Oh, that
So
is so killer.
it's hard because I'm using my front camera, so I can't really see what's happening. But I hope you see his face there.
I do.
There you go. But
You got a perfect lock on his with him taking the picture right now.
yeah,
It's so dope. It's so dope.
but this is a life-size bust, and they only made like 200 of these, and it lights up and stuff. And it's mixed media, so like this is all like tailored stuff. And then on the bottom, see all this lights up, all these little like lights and stuff. And we did a review on it, but it's really neat. And this guy here is cool too. I don't know if you could see it. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. I'm watching Batman right now. I love the bats flying off his back.
Yep. So this is Batman Hush, and he's got the back computer and stuff. But
And
yeah,
who's
man,
this one
there's
by? The Batman?
this one. This is Prime One Studios did that.
That's Prime One.
The company, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So, let me plug in my phone again. But yeah, I mean, it's hard, man, because they're all so good. Like we just got a shredder from PCS, and actually I bought that one, but actually I bought all these. I bought, they didn't give them to me. These two I bought, and that one I bought. And they're just really good. And these things are expensive, man. Like, thank God for payment plans and all that other good stuff, because they're expensive.
So I was gonna say, this is another great segue moment into me asking you how you felt about the ever growing expanding budgetary needs in order to accomplish this statue goal. Because I'll tell you, I love the Diamond Select stuff, not because they are a sponsor, but because of the fact that they're sort of the every person collectible brand for me. So, you know, whether you're just starting out or you're an avid collector, they've got enough depth and breadth to what they're offering that you're not sort of missing anything in particular. Now, where you get stymied just a little bit is in the offerings and scale. They're not really doing the massive size statues of scale that you guys have been more accustomed to unboxing lately. And so for me, it's like I almost don't want to go there because I feel like this is the everyday, everyman brand that if you have $50, $60, $100, you can go and pick up one of these badass statues and still love on it all day long. They do a great job with most of these mini busts and the full, the 1/6 scale and the 1/7 scale stuff that I don't feel like you necessarily have to go up to that next level, but I'm greedy, so I know I'm going to. But how do you feel like relative to, because once you get out of this segment, man, you are jumping up exponentially, like a stupid amount more money,
Yeah.
in the
So
thousands now, from the hundred to the thousands. So what's your feeling on that?
So like I said earlier, I always say, remember where you came from. And Diamond Select and Gentle Giant were one of the first companies to send us stuff and believe in us. And no matter how big I get, I still do that because, like you said, I couldn't say it any better. When I started, this is what I could afford,
That's
you
right.
know? And even for the price, because like even and Iron Studios is another company that sells smaller statues. This is about like $170. It's still a
Right.
lot, but it's not like breaking the bank, right? Same
Right.
thing with Gentle Giant, Diamond Select. You got anywhere between $50 to $250, depending on the statue. And you get a good bang for your buck, a good quality statue. They're getting better with their portraits and stuff, and they look pretty decent, right?
Right.
And they still, if you have just that, I mean, look at your top shelf just based off what you have. That's a great looking display, right? Right. So you could still have a really good display. And just like anything else in life, eventually, if you want to move into the bigger statues, you can. But there is a big difference. So, like, that's like probably like $1,500. The freaking Batman Hush was almost $3,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like 20 something. I think it was like 2,600. So many statues are just really, really expensive. And obviously they do payment plans and stuff, but for me, luckily, we've been so blessed to have sponsors and people send us things to review for them and showcase. And another thing that we take pride in is that we get a lot of discount codes and affiliate links or whatever it is to just help people with their purchases. And the whole point of us reviewing things is because when you start getting to these statues, even the smaller ones, man, you gotta really make a choice of where you're gonna put your money at. So a lot of times you got to watch a review to make sure you're not throwing your money away on something you might not like. So for me, that's what the joy I get out of it is helping somebody make that choice, whether it's going to buy a smaller statue or whether it's their first time jumping into something big like that. Because like you said, it is an investment. You are like buying a pretty high ticket item. And at the end of the day, all this is artwork. You know what I mean? Like it's not, a lot of people think they're toys. They're like, no, this is artwork. They're serialized. They have a sculptor. They have an artist. They have a illustrator. They have everything. A lot of things come into play with this, and these are pieces of art and collectibles that oftentimes, most of the time, go up in price after you buy it. It's not like a car where it depreciates in value. Once they're gone, and now they're on high demand, and it just all depends. I just tell people collect what you love and just be mindful of how you're collecting. That's all.
It's great advice. It's great advice. I appreciate the way you put it too, in terms of, you don't have to jump up to the crazies. Just do what you love, and eventually, you might want to scrap up and get that one, but just keep watching Toy Quest 101. He'll show you exactly which ones that you can salivate over and get payment plans, and then you can check on their coupon codes and all the other stuff that they can help you with. You see that? Boop. There you go. Promo. Toy Quest 101.
Promo. Thanks.
There we go. Just let that run out there just like that. So real quick, if we were walking together and I took 3 steps in front of you and just flew away, what would be your first reaction?
I would probably be shocked
That's
that you
it?
flew away.
Okay. I asked that of a lot of people. You would be surprised the questions, the answers that they give.
Like, where are you going? Where are you going?
Okay. He flew away though. I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna go watch TV because this guy's obviously flying. So
I would probably ask you, like, yo, where are you going? I'll be shocked, but I'll probably be like, where are you going?
¿Dónde va?
Yeah.
Okay. Where you headed, bro? Action stars. I had this on the list to ask you. I don't know why, but I wanted to know anyway, right? So that's right. He's like, where are you going? This has nothing to do. That's right. It doesn't.
No, it does. It might. Let's see.
All right. So your action stars. I'm going to give you a list from the 80s first. Okay. I want you to just, we're gonna tabulate. That's right. You ready? I'm gonna say the
80s.
names. You'll know all the names. You can't just look like you were alive. Okay. Schwarzenegger, Stallone,
yes,
Chuck Norris, Chow Yun-fat, Sho Kosugi, or Jackie Chan.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you got to pick one.
We're talking about, all right, so what's the question? You want to know which one's my favorite or who would win in a fight?
Who did you feel like was the best, most kick-ass star for that era?
Dude, I'm a huge, so I grew up, so first of all, I was born in 86, so half of these guys, but for me, Arnold and Sly were the biggest, action stars growing up for me. I absolutely am a huge fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger, especially his documentary on Netflix. Wow, amazing. And Sly too. Sylvester Stallone is another one that's just amazing, man. Just, and he's right outside of Philadelphia. We did some partnerships with his store. They sent us like a Cobra figure, which was really cool. But for me, out of all of them, I were to pick one, it'd probably be Arnold, for sure.
90s, Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Not Steven Seagal, but go ahead.
I knew you were going to say that. I just want to make sure I heard you say it because not Steven Seagal. Everyone says that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Jean-Claude Van Damme. We go Jackie Chan again. I'm going to throw in a Will Smith, a Keanu Reeves, and a Schwarzenegger.
I mean, it's going to be Arnold, but I love Jean-Claude Van Damme, man. Jean-Claude Van Damme was another one of those guys that came up. And, not for nothing, man, Jackie Chan was a monster, bro. Jackie Chan, he's so good. And he did all his stunts, and he's done so much for his culture. And, like, there's more behind that. Same thing with Arnold. Arnold did so much for his, his culture and his country. And like, there's more behind them just being an action star. It's how they got there, and what do they mean back in their country as far as they're way bigger back over there than they are here. And of course, all the trials and tribulations that they had to go through to make it in the movie industry or make it in martial arts, or transition from martial arts into movies. And for me, that's all really cool. All of them, every single one of them. But
all right,
I think out of that group, I would say Van Damme.
2000s, Jason Statham. We got Stallone and Schwarzenegger again, but this time we're adding Bruce Willis, Tony Jaa. Remember, this is a kick-ass one. Iko Uwais. Okay, and then a couple of people. We got Steven Seagal back in that, but we also have Jet Li and Donnie Yen, Scott Adkins, and Van Damme. All in that.
All right, say that one more time.
All right, Jason Statham, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais. We have Steven Seagal, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, Scott Adkins, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Pick.
I would say Tony Jaa or Jason Statham. I like him.
Okay, we got a tie between joint. These questions.
Where's Michael J. White at? I thought you were gonna say Michael J. White
wasn't that big though. I mean, he was big. He's big in the art, but like,
he's big in martial arts.
Best movie. What's his best movie?
Spawn.
Okay,
that's it.
Then you're not gonna dominate 2000s with just Spawn.
Nah, you're not.
Spawn. Let's be real. The original Spawn was a shit movie. I mean, John Leguizamo. God bless you, bro. But come on, that was a shit movie. I've been waiting
Oh,
for them
that's
to
funny.
remake that movie forever. So I got Jason Statham and Tony Jaa for the
Yeah,
2000s on you. All right, the 2010s. You got to add them in because you got to add them in. The Rock. Yeah,
that's it.
I don't
That's
hear
it.
that. It's him?
That's it. Yeah, The Rock.
Okay, it's The Rock. Okay.
Well, go ahead. Say who else you were gonna say. Just I'm curious.
The 2010s, I mean, for the kick, I don't know why, but they had Tom Hardy in here. They had Mark Wahlberg in here, which I like Mark Wahlberg, and he has some kick-ass kind of, the big hit. I don't know if you talk about it. I like Tom Hardy. They had Daniel Craig in this list, but I guess that was because we went through the Bond series, and then they introduced Chris Evans and Tom Cruise. And
No,
Tom
stop
Cruise,
it.
that's what I said.
Tom Hardy would be another. If The Rock wasn't there, I would say Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy?
He does jujitsu, man. He's the dude's. He's a pretty cool guy. But The Rock, I'm a huge fan of The Rock. Huge fan.
We will tabulate all of this later. So here's the question I have after all of that. Of your action movies, what is the one scene or statue that you want to see done that is not come across your desk yet?
Oh well,
Speak
they
to
already
the
done the statue.
manufacturers.
They already did the statues for Arnold and Terminator. They're there.
No,
I
you got to give
can't
me the one
afford
that's
those.
not done. You got to give me one that's not done yet.
It's hard. Everything for Arnold and Sly have been done. I'm telling you, they've been done. They've
I
been
haven't
done.
seen a Kindergarten Cop. Sorry.
Oh no, but that I don't
You
want a
said
kindergarten
everything.
cop.
You said everything.
No.
Oh,
I mean, if
Danny
you want to
DeVito.
talk movies, it'd be cool for them to make a last action hero of Arnold Schwarzenegger, like a 6 scale figure.
There you
You know
go.
what I mean? That'll be
Okay.
cool.
So
That'll be
6
cool.
scale. All right.
Yeah.
What about Stallone? What haven't they done?
Well, they did Cobra. I know they
Cobra.
did Cobra. They did Rocky. They did
Rambo.
of course they did Rambo. Trying to think. I don't a cliffhanger maybe? That'd be cool to have them all on.
See?
Yeah.
Cliffhanger. You guys don't even know what
Cliffhanger.
cliffhanger is. Go rent Cliffhanger from your local Blockbuster or wherever you get your movies from now. The Cliffhanger. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Tony Jaa?
I don't know, bro. I don't think they did a lot of him already. That's not like from the popular things.
I haven't seen anything from a Tony Jaa statue.
No, not 6 scale. So when you get to movies and stuff, you're gonna see a lot of 6 scale figures where they have articulation points and all that stuff. But that's all has to do with licensing and stuff. So I mean, they could pretty much do anything with him because they really haven't done a lot with him.
Yeah, I guess that's a good. Okay, that's fair. And then finally, The Rock. What would be The Rock's one that you haven't seen yet?
I mean, so they did the wrestling figure, obviously. They have wrestling figures of him. They did I think they did Fast and the Furious one of him. I've seen Moana ones. Or Maui.
Maui.
I think what would be a cool one for him?
G.I. Joe. I haven't seen them do him in G.I. Joe.
No, I think they did it. I did one of G.I. Joe. It might be like a third party. I would say like a Scorpion King, since that's one of his like first
and they did such a bad job with the first Scorpion King movie graphics that I feel like they should redo that in some sort of
this movie was horrible, but what was he? Hercules? Wasn't he Hercules? Where he had the lion thing?
He was Hercules. He was terrible.
See, that'd be cool with the lion mane and stuff. Even though the movie wasn't that great, I think that would be cool to see him like that.
I just think that's so bad. I can't even collect the Black Adam stuff because I think the movie was so bad, just so terrible, so awfully done. I can't bring myself to go. And I wound up picking up the stupid the bad guy from it. What the hell's his name? This guy. I don't have my glasses on. Ete. You don't remember his name. Sabak. There he is.
Sabak? Yeah.
I wound up picking up Sabak because he was on the cheap and I needed something to open up. That's my addiction now. I just start opening stuff up. So, all right. You spent a lot of time with me. So let me get down to the brass tacks now because he's going to be coming out here to Fayetteville and hang out with us for a couple of days. So you can come ask the man all kinds of questions. He's an open book. and he's met so many people and opened up so many things, and he's got so much information on all the manufacturers that he's generally the guy you want to talk to. All
Mhm.
right, so independent comic books. Are you steeped in any of the independent comic books right now? Do you know anything that you?
No, I wish I was, because when I go to a lot of these Comic Cons, man, and I approach these tables and I see a lot of these independent guys, and they kind of give me a rundown of the stories of the comics, and man, they're like really good.
Yeah.
And the cool thing I love about the sculpt is that you're given the opportunity for these indie comic book writers or these guys that are starting off that don't really have the limelight to shine on their amazing stories that they have. And a lot of times, guys, these guys have better stories than what they're doing now with, Marvel and Disney. So I wish I had more time. I really don't. I barely read comics anymore. But some of these things, man, are just really good. And I think now we're in a time where even if they don't say their comic doesn't become anything. It could become something on Netflix. It could become a story or a series. They have so many more avenues with their story than just the comic book that they have a lot of different opportunities to do so. So I love seeing indie guys and independent comics just kind of get their shine. And for me, that's what the sculpt is all about. And I'm really excited for that opportunity for them to get.
Well, I don't know if I should ask anything else. That was like a perfect promo all by itself, bro. It was a perfect promo all by itself. Yeah, but that's the goal anyway. It's like I really am much newer to heading out to these Comic Cons than you are. I've only got a couple of years in it now. But what I noticed is like I would meet the artists and I got sad because I talked to them and it sounded to me, and they verified this, that they need these Comic Cons in order to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Even those really big artists that you've known for 20, 30, 40 years in this industry, they're still attending these Comic Cons because it is a starving art. You're going to get paid per page, and not everyone's going to be Todd McFarlane. Not everyone's going to be Jim Lee. And so, everybody else that falls into the cracks, they have to keep attending these things. And it's not like the 90s and 2000s anymore where comic books were flying off the shelf, right? They had to do 3, 4, 5 printings of a particular book. And so if you look at that and you think the shine, like you said, is still there, but it's mostly there for a lot of the industry bigs, your Marvel, your DC, your Image, it doesn't leave a lot of room for the opportunity for these independent artists to shine, to bring their
Mm-hmm.
their thought processes to life. And so that was the genesis for me of the thought processes. How do we get these independent comic books to become something everybody wants to take a look at? Hey, you may not love it, you may not want to keep reading it, but how do you get them to come to this idea and talk to the artist and grow a little bit with the comic in that series and give them that opportunity? And in the midst of me doing that, I'm opening up toys. So whoop whoop, they kind of came together, and that was the genesis of that idea. It was like, well, why don't we do for the small guys what the big guys are doing for themselves? So they're invested in licensing with several different companies. And it's not to say that I don't love Wolverine, but if you looked at the market, that would be a very heavily saturated, character, right? What's not heavily saturated is the guys that are developing these books and they don't have an opportunity to do their Wolverine, right? So that's what the sculpt is for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
about the growth of that medium through using the medium of digital sculpture and 3D printing to get us what we want today. So even if it's not like they go gangbusters, this is an opportunity for them to jump out and take a look at what the capabilities are for them to be able to show the market what's in that run. And I absolutely love that guy for saying yes, because he's way bigger than I am and doesn't really need to say yes to any of this kind of crap. So it's clear that he is invested in the artist and the artistry and the statues and the growth of people. And I really appreciate you more than you know for jumping in on and saying yes to this. You, Rocco Tartamello, who we'll have another interview with, Natasha Stagmar, Cannonball X, who, I mean, I don't think I could have asked for the trifecta that was better than what I got. And so, on that note, I am looking forward to seeing you personally, buying your drink when you get out there to Fayetteville. I'll be hanging out with you for those 3 days, April 26, 27, 28. Come out, see Miguel Figueroa. Everybody, they'll be clapping in the background. Okay. Much appreciated, mi hermano. I really do. Thank you very much.
Anytime, man. This is fun. I can't wait to meet everybody. And, I can't wait for the first episode, man. I got a lot of cool things coming out, and I can't wait to see the creativity and, things come to life on the show.
Yeah, me neither. I got a lot of editing to do. So much work left, bro. So much work. When you get there, I want to show you some cool things that we're doing with 3D printed universal cosplay. And
Nice.
do you do any Pop Funko collection stuff back there?
I have a ton of Funkos, but I don't do much with them. They're just kind of there. But
Right.
yeah, I haven't.
Well, the idea, the thought process is that we've had at Toyota Enterprises is we've come up with a box that holds the box. So they're display boxes for your Funko box that interconnect. And so
Nice.
they have different types of so I'm just saying we could have a Toy Quest 101 box.
Nice.
Something to talk about when we get down to Fayetteville. Everybody, Miguel Figueroa, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
You have an
Anytime.
excellent rest of the day. I'm going to edit this up and then I'll send it your way.
All right. Sounds good, man.
All right, brother. Peace.
Appreciate you, bro.